I'm Paul Meadors. This is Austin Kemp. We got a lot to cover in this episode. We got a really big semifinal playoff game that we're going to discuss between Buchanan and Liberty. But before that, we're going to break down the games that we went to last week. Austin went and checked out Buchanan and Bakersfield.
Yep.
What would you call that? A scrimmage?
It was
A JV versus varsity almost?
It was like a game that took place against a team that really didn't know exactly what to do. They were just kind of out there with football pads on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of the vibe I got.
Kind of a sandlot game.
But
the other team,
for one team.
Correct.
For one team. The other team, it was like how the Sandlot game should have been in the movie between the obviously the main characters and the team that was all dressed up.
Yeah.
The actual team. It should have been how that game was. It's like kind of reversed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you checked out that game, and I was at the Bullard and Clovis game. I'm sure you guys are well aware of what happened in that game. I'm gonna break that down. Break down that game. We're gonna break down your game a little bit before we move on. And then Clovis West went down to Bakersfield to play Liberty, and that game ended up 38-14. 38-14. So I thought of wearing something like a paper bag over my head, or maybe one of those big helmets. We have like one of those big, not helmets, but a panda hat.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You see
anything that covers your face. I was gonna do it too because we stuck our necks out for the Clovis Cougars last week.
Yeah.
And we're kind of riding them pretty good.
Yeah.
To close the season, and they kind of just threw it back in our face.
Well, we had a lot of reasons why we thought Clovis should and would win that game against Bullard.
Yeah.
We went so far as saying, well, Bullard, their last 3 games, they played against inferior competition and then had a bye week. They were down to their number 3 quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Clovis was playing at a high level, had come off, smacking the pants out of Rio Grande. They were all healthy. They found some identity. And then what happened, Austin? Something different happened.
I looked at my phone in the second quarter of the Buchanan Bakersfield game to see Paul's updates, and I read 41-0 Bullard.
Yeah.
I thought it was a typo.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was like 14-0, and then I kind of kept scrolling, and I read backwards 35-0, 28-0, 21-0. I'm like, oh, that's real.
Yeah. You thought I had maybe dyslexia and I was everything reversed.
Maybe, but you were. Yeah.
They were very accurate.
Yeah.
They were back.
Yeah.
So let me give you a little bit of a rundown of that game. It started off poorly for Clovis. They took the opening kickoff, and on that new turf at McLean, this is my second game I've seen at McLean, and I saw and heard different things about that turf there. So first kickoff, boom, slips on the 14-yard line.
Clovis.
All right, Clovis.
Yeah.
Slips on the 14-yard line. So bad field position.
Right.
Okay. 3 and out. Kick to Bullard. Touchdown. Kick to Clovis. 3 and out.
Mm-hmm.
Kick to Bullard.
There's a pattern there.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
And it kept going in increments of 7. Right?
And then you do that 6 times.
6 times, and there was 1 extra point that was missed. And so by the time it was halftime, it was 41-0. And Clovis had 2 first downs in that first half. So anyway, it was Shalom Welch just took over that game as a running back for Bullard. He had 4 touchdown runs of more tthan 40 yards in that game. 3 of them were in the first half, and then he actually opened the scoring with a 14-yard catch from their number 3 quarterback, 5'5", Kai Tsunomoto, who slung the ball. I mean, how are you going to describe throwing a ball like this? What do you call that? You don't call it 3 quarters.
It's just
you call it 3 seconds.
It's just sidearm.
Just sidearm. You threw the ball like that, but we give him credit. I mean, Bullard took it to him, right? So we're giving all the credit to Bullard. They had a great game plan. They came in and just kind of smacked Clovis in the mouth. Clovis outscored him 21-6 in the second half, but obviously it was a little too late.
Too much too late. Yeah.
And so their season ended at the hands of number 4 Bullard. Clovis was the 5 seed. But so it was just kind of a stinker game to end on, because I think I went to at least 6 Clovis games this year, so I got to know those guys pretty well and got to know their personnel and their how they ran things in offense, and So yeah, we were pretty high on them, and then they
laid an egg.
they laid an egg against Bullard. It happens. So as a gift to Bullard, who do they get next, Austin?
They get Central, number 1 Central, and they actually didn't play each other in the regular season this year. I think the previous 3 or 4 years that that was the opener. Didn't happen this season, but yeah, they'll have their work cut out for them. We'll see if I would guess Shalom Welch would have to have 200 plus yards for it to be a close game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
We'll get into that a little bit later. So that's basically my review of the game. Keanu Williams for Clovis, their massive defensive lineman, was double teamed most of the night, and when they did run at him, he made some plays, man, some just legit plays. That was about it as far as the highlights. Tristan Risley, the running back, ended up scoring 2 touchdowns. But there was no flow to the offense. Bullard's defense played really, really well. The corners are good. Linebackers actually played pretty well. So anyway, they move on. They're going to face Central.
Yeah.
And your Bakersfield Buchanan game, it's definitely not the Bakersfield of old, right?
It is a completely different program from what Paul Gola used to run, whether it's scheme-wise, culture-wise, just discipline-wise. It's a completely different Bakersfield team that I was accustomed to seeing. Just kind of recap it. Game starts off, Bakersfield gets the ball, 3 and out. Buchanan gets the ball. They're driving kind of methodically. They're not really running the ball at all. I get the sense that they were trying to get Ian Kirby comfortable from the start, being his first playoff game. And it was a little shaky that first drive and other drives. They go down the field, get to about the 20, kick a field goal, they miss, and then Bakersfield gets the ball back. Another 3 and out, which was a recurring theme, much like Clovis. And then just kind of after their second, third possessions, Buchanan started getting it going. Kendall Milton broke off 27-yard touchdown to open the scoring. Next possession, he goes 60, 65, 66 yards for a touchdown. And then after that, after it was 14-0, you kind of saw Kirby get a little bit more comfortable. And he even admitted it after the game. I talked to him. I asked him, hey, what's it different in your first playoff game? He's like, yeah, I was a little bit nervous to come out and start the game. You could tell there were some throws high. Yeah. His feet weren't really set the first quarter. But after it was 14-0, he got settled, and he probably had under 30 yards passing after the end of the first quarter, and he ended with 255 and 3 touchdowns. Okay. And just real fast, that completion, he was 16 of 23 for 257, 3 touchdowns. And he really started to look comfortable throwing to Stephen Shelley, Cade Ewing, all these juniors that he's starting to build some chemistry with. But the Bakersfield offense couldn't do anything. I told Paul it was kind of like a Chinese fire drill, just watching them on offense, because I think they had a backup quarterback in, their main guy, Eastwood Jr., number 12, that I saw on film the week before that. He didn't play. It was a lefty, Wesley Wilson. Not a great thrower. He had 19 carries. It was kind of just like a scramble drill every single time.
Yeah, didn't you say there was basically 3 plays that they ran?
They ran either a fly sweep or a bubble, or it was just like a zone read. Okay. And none of them worked. They had 41 yards of offense in the first half. They scored once late in the fourth quarter on a running clock. It was 43-7.
29-0 at half, right?
29-0 at half, 43-7 final score. Running, it was 43-0 entering the fourth.
And for the second week in a row, Kendall Milton had under 10 carries. Yeah. So he should be very fresh going into this next game against Liberty.
Yeah, in the last 3 weeks, because they had a bye week.
Yeah.
In between the finale, he's
correct.
Yeah, he has 18 carries the last 3 weeks of the season. So he's fresh for this potential Liberty Central stretch run.
Yeah. That's going to be a fun game to watch, obviously. And then Liberty and Clovis West, we thought that there might be a shot that Clovis West could pull an upset down over there. They have some athletes to do it, but couldn't quite put it together. Ended up being 38-14. I think, did they get within 21 to 14?
It was 21-14, I think, late in the second quarter. And then I think there was either a pick six or a kick return for a touchdown that made it 28-14 at half, and then they got shut out in the second half. Okay. But we B Varsity covered that game. Yeah. Pretty good Bakersfield site. They talked about Dylan Tooker. an athlete for Liberty who's a real good athlete, plays offense, plays defense, kick return. He had a pick six and a kick return for a touchdown. And the other bit of news coming out of that game was Liberty was without quarterback Hayden Mann. He was out with knee bursitis.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what knee bursitis is?
But I think, no, I don't. Offhand, I don't. But I think Dr. Kemp does.
Yeah.
Kemp,
Well, I'm actually not a doctor, but I have sources. And my source tells me that knee bursitis, if it was a traumatic
Is that
injury...
Wikipedia, or is that like a...
No, this is text. This is a straight text from the source.
Okay.
Knee bursitis, if it was a traumatic injury caused in a game, can take up to 3 months to completely heal. So, with that said, we don't know if it happened in a game or in practice because we don't cover Bakersfield.
Yeah.
But if it did happen in a game, he's probably going to be out this week against Buchanan, which would be pretty significant news. And in his absence, it was sophomore Carson Woods for Liberty, who got called up from JV 2 weeks ago.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar. A lot like the quarterback at Buchanan, even though it wasn't 2 weeks ago. But same in-season call-up. And people I talked about how Carson Woods, he's young. He was maybe a little bit nervous too. Obviously, it was his first varsity game in general. Mm-hmm. But they liked his arm. They said he could sling it.
Yeah.
And the end of the night, 11 of 18, 123. Not crazy numbers, but they didn't have to be crazy last Friday night.
Yeah.
So
well, there you go.
That's
okay,
something to monitor going forward.
So that thus ends the year for two teams. Clovis and Clovis West are done. Now we're down to our final four: Central and Bullard, Liberty, Buchanan. So we got one Clovis Unified school left.
Yes, a school from every district, kind of. We got Clovis Unified, Central Unified, Fresno Unified, and Kern County.
There you go.
There we go.
4 for 4.
We're all represented. Yep.
Jim Critchlow's pumped about that.
Pumped about that exposure.
Exposure, guys. So, looking forward now to this matchup. So let's break down Liberty at Buchanan. So, Liberty comes in now at 10-1.
Mm-hmm.
Buchanan is technically 9-2. They got that forfeit loss from Narbonne because they were cheating up there and different shenanigans were going there, so they had to forfeit some stuff. So anyway, who is Liberty's one loss though this year, Austin?
It was Buchanan.
Buchanan.
It was a game on a Thursday night down in Clovis, and it was 19-17 Buchanan. That game was without Kendall Milton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say this game coming Friday.
Pretty significant. Yeah.
Significant. It's going to look a lot different.
It's going to be a lot different.
Than that game.
Yeah.
And then our quarterback, Ian Kirby, was not in that game as well.
It was DJ Stevenson for Buchanan, and it was no Kendall Milton. It's going to be a completely different offense that Liberty's going to see.
Yeah.
But I still think they're going to apply the same strategy to beat Buchanan as they did last year, and that they would have done, say, DJ Stevenson was still the quarterback this year. I think they're going to put 8-9 in the box, and they're going to dare Kirby to beat them. I get that sense. Will it happen? I don't know. I think Kirby can beat these guys with his arm. I think their receivers are good enough to make them pay, but I think that's that's kind of what your strategy has to be, I would think, to beat Buchanan.
Yeah, and we all remember what happened last year, so there's going to be a little bit of a chip on the Buchanan Bears' shoulders from what happened last year.
Yep.
A little recap on that is that Liberty came in, basically same situation, right?
Yep.
Buchanan was the 2.
Liberty
was the 3. Liberty kicked a fairly short, 30-ish yard field goal at as the clock expired to crush the Bears, crush their spirits. They didn't make it to the Valley Championship game like they did the year before against Central, so it denied them a chance to get revenge on Central, and that was a pretty bitter defeat.
No, it was like Liberty's a good team every year, and they have a great coach. And last year's game was probably, going into it, it was almost probably a coin flip anyway. Maybe 60-40 Buchanan, 55-45. But it was shocking in that stadium when that field goal went through, just because of that talent Buchanan had last year. They had some good seniors in their front seven that graduated. Yeah, I remember just kind of sitting there Liberty had more than a puncher's chance to win that game, and I'm still pretty shocked that they went into Buchanan and beat them. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I actually moved up to the press box late in that game, watched the second half from up top, and you're just sitting there and you're watching the field goal and you're like, he makes it. No, Liberty moves, misses it, Buchanan. It comes down to this.
Right.
And you just kind of watch in silence, and there it goes. And there's through, and there's Liberty celebrating.
Yeah.
So we got that going into this game too. You mentioned that Buchanan has Kirby and Milton, and Liberty is most likely going to have a different quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Prentice Boone, the Liberty starting running back, who missed the finale against Bakersfield, also did not play last week.
Okay.
Which would be pretty significant loss, because he's a 1,000-yard type of back when he's healthy, and if he's not going, that's another, you're going to miss your quarterback and your starting running back.
Okay.
That's significant.
We said that about Bullard last week
Yeah,
too.
but it's kind of what happened to Buchanan the first time around Liberty. They now starting quarterback wasn't playing, and their starting running back wasn't playing.
That's why this is going to be a totally different game.
Yeah, it's going to be different.
Totally different game.
Right.
So let's kind of look at it this way, Austin. Let's break down what it's going to take for each team to win this game. So let's start with Liberty. So Liberty's coming in. They're on the road. They're well coached. Looks like they're going to be down a few players. What is it going to take for Liberty to come back in veterans and beat the Bears for a second consecutive year in the playoffs?
It's obviously, it's an obvious answer, but it's going to have to be limiting the run. They're not going to stop it completely, but if they can limit Kendall, let's say Kendall gets 20. If it's a close game, he's probably going to get like 25 carries. If they can limit him to, 25 carries, 110 yards, that's probably a recipe for success this week. And then I think on offense, they just have to be, they cannot be predictable if they're starting a sophomore quarterback. Like they have to always stay ahead of the chains and have to have success running the ball. I know I just said that for Buchanan, but it's all going to start with running the ball for Liberty. If they can't run the ball, there is zero chance they're going to win this game. And I probably even feel that with if Hayden Mann was a quarterback. If they can't run the ball, there's zero chance they're going to win this game. They have to be able to move the ball, keep the clock going, and limit Kendall Milton to not 0 yards, obviously, but if you had Kendall going 4 yards a carry on Friday night, that's a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
they're obviously going to have to limit those big plays as well. They're not going to. They're not going to survive if Kendall gets a couple touchdown runs over 50.
Right.
I think.
Obviously, for sure.
They're definitely not going to be a big play offense. I'm talking Liberty here. They're not going to. I don't even see them scoring in the 30s. Right.
They're not going to score in the 30s on Friday night. So if they're going to win, it's going to be 24 maybe to 21, something like that. But I want to double check something real fast, because that first game against Buchanan, just like watching it on the sideline, I thought that the Liberty offensive line I thought they were getting a pretty decent push on the Buchanan front seven. I know that was early in the year, and Buchanan was replacing a bunch of starters from last year. And so Prentice Boone was 30 carries for 116 yards, not a great average. So maybe they didn't push him around.
They ran the ball 35 times.
But they ran the ball 35 times for 146 yards. So I would expect that total to probably be 50 times maybe on Friday if Hayden Mann's not playing. So for Liberty to win, they got to go 50 carries for 200 yards, and they got to hope that O-line can get a push and move the ball. If they can go, if they're running the ball 50 times, it's got to be in the 210 to 220 range, and they might have a shot, because that means they're keeping the clock moving, they're keeping their drives going, and they're getting enough yards when it matters.
Yeah, I think Liberty too. Watching them for the last 4 or 5 years as well, they've always had very, very solid special teams.
Yeah.
Their punting team has always been good. Their kicker, obviously, that kid's back again. He's probably booting a lot of field goals this year. They don't turn the ball over. Last week, against Clovis West, they did have that kick return for a touchdown. So special teams play for the Patriots is definitely a plus for them. Okay, so let's transition. To Buchanan. How is Buchanan going to beat this Liberty team?
Quite frankly, kind of just looking at it from a whole, seeing both teams play multiple times this year, I think Buchanan's just the better team. The first game, I remember being with my brother on the sideline, and just kind of looking at the Liberty defense and everything. And Liberty's super talented. They're one of the best teams in the section, but I remember kind of looking at it and saying, Buchanan has a chance to like expose these DBs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I didn't think the DBs were super great.
Yeah.
I don't think they were super fast. There was like high school kids, right?
Yeah.
And that night Buchanan wasn't able to expose them. This Friday, I think they have a pretty good shot too. So I think they'll be able to complete some passes downfield, underneath, get these guys going a bunch of ways.
Yeah.
And then that's going to open up some holes for Kendall Milton. I think Liberty's going to come in stacked in the box with 8 or 9 guys potentially. However, I just don't see how that strategy is going to last tonight, this week.
Yeah, and I think one of the differences between Buchanan this year and Buchanan in the last few years, with Kendall Milton being Kendall Milton for 3.5 years, we could say that that this year they have a legitimate passing game where defensive coordinators are probably watching it and they're like, oh shoot, we're gonna have to account for this. Yeah. Where in the last few years they probably didn't. Last year DJ Stevenson was a sophomore starting in that game. So and his ability to throw the ball around the field wasn't as good as this year.
For sure.
I mean that's just a fact.
If Liberty stacks the box all night, I think Kirby's gonna throw for upwards of 250 yards. Yeah. And maybe it works out at the end for them. Like you still got to play the game and everything, as we learned last week. Yeah. With Clovis and Bullard, but Ian Kirby's good, man. Yeah. And he's been making some throws, and as long as the receivers can hold on to the ball, which they've been making plays, I think it's gonna be a tough night for Liberty. And
you talk about Buchanan's secondary as well. We're pretty impressed with them. They're Hayden Peterson. He's back, right?
He's back. He played last week. He missed like 2 or 3 track games, which is significant starting free safety. Yeah. But he's back. CJ Jones is one of the top corners in the section. Yeah. And then on the other side, they have Chuck Deneau and Brandon Hernandez, all good athletes, and that's one of the best units on the team this year. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's that game broken down for the most part. Is there anything else? Any little sleeper facts or?
Liberty has a good receiver. I think his name is Ramon Hernandez. I want to say Ramon Hernandez, number 11. He's a multi-year starter for them. Has a few kick return for touchdowns. Best wide receiver. He's going to have to be a factor. Yeah. Yeah. But so, again, we talked about the Buchanan secondary. Yeah. He'll be matched up against him all night.
Okay, so what was the name of that kid's? What was that kid's name for Liberty?
Which one?
Tore up Tooker.
Tooker, yeah, Dylan Tooker.
So you kind of wonder.
Ramon Henderson, by the way, for Liberty, number 11, not Ramon Hernandez. But yeah, Dylan Tooker.
Okay, so you wonder if they're gonna, and he's a senior, right?
Yes.
So he has some experience in these big games. So you wonder if he's gonna be the type of kid or the type of player where they're going to just let him roam around a little bit, maybe shadow Kendall, because Kendall's been coming out of the backfield a little bit more this season. You think that might be a possibility, or he's kind of a hybrid safety?
Yeah, he's kind of like a hybrid safety. He's listed as a linebacker, but he can cover. He can come up and fill holes in the run game. But I mean, in a perfect world, he's probably their best defender, and you would want him following Kendall around. But I mean, in a football game, if you're prepping for it, you're going to have adjustments where you can, if that's the case, say Liberty has a perfect game plan, they have this guy following Kendall around out of the backfield wherever all night. You can get Dylan Tooker on different players if you're schematically good enough as an offensive coordinator. So they could come in wanting to do that, but it doesn't mean it's always going to happen. And that one play maybe that he's not. Yeah. You have Kendall going against a normal high school kid, and he can take it 70 yards. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this game, like I said, they got a little chip on their shoulder. Yeah. They're going to come out pretty fired up, I think. Buchanan is, and they're going to definitely want another potential shot at Central. Yeah. Remember talking to Kendall at the beginning of the year when I was doing my previews. Kendall, he's had a goal. He's had a goal since the summer, man, is to win a Valley championship. I think he even said that at his Georgia Bulldog announcement party. Right.
where he's like, yeah, I'm ready to get that Valley Championship this year.
And I know a lot of these kids at Buchanan are quote unquote Buchanan kids, but he's a guy that has lived right across the street from the school his entire life. He went to Garfield. It is connected to Buchanan High School. He went to Alta Sierra. He went to Buchanan. Like, he's been around this area and this program his entire life.
Yeah.
And he wants to cap it off with a Valley Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
just like we said, he's fresh.
He's fresh.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
Yeah.
100%. So we're very much looking forward to that game. So whoever wins that game is going to go against the winner of Bullard and Central. Bullard comes in at 9-2. Central 11-0, ranked number 9 in the state. I think there's a very good case that they could even be ranked higher, maybe in the top 6 in the state. Central is very, very impressive. And Austin, are we going to talk about Central?
If you want to. No, we will.
No, we will. Okay, so I had another thought though, Austin.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're going to like this thought. What happens next week? What do we do if Buchanan slips up?
Against
Against
and
Liberty.
it's like Liberty Central Valley Championship.
We're still going to do the show.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be as excited.
I won't be as excited, but we'll cover it. I guess.
Yeah.
But no, we got to cover it. But
Let's block that out. Let's block that negativity.
By the way, again, I've stuck my neck out for Clovis highlights so you can say they're going to win. I'm telling you, Buchanan's not losing to Liberty this year.
Oh.
I just don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see it.
I like your confidence.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. I love Brian Dixon as a coach for Liberty. I like a lot of their players, but I also love the Buchanan coach as a coach, and I love some of those Buchanan players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'll be the difference this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's put that out of our mind. It's not happening.
It's not happening.
You're coming over here at 6:30. You're gonna knock on the door. You're gonna walk in wearing maybe sweats and sandals with socks. Right?
Yeah,
I am. That, and we're gonna prep for a show while watching Monday Night Football on Disney Plus, and then we're gonna sit here. We're gonna talk about Buchanan.
And we're gonna call Central versus Buchanan because it has to happen.
Okay, so Bullard against Central. I got a fun fact here, Austin. I don't think you have. You're the king of fun facts.
Go for it.
Okay, so we know Central's 11-0. Last year 13-1.
Yeah.
Their loss was against Folsom in that game that I'll never forget. It was 80.
The basketball score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
80-something points in a regulation game, the Folsom scored. Year before, 12-2. The year before that...
By the way, the 12-2 year was to De La Salle and Folsom. So,
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two pretty good teams.
So I'm getting to something here,
yeah,
Austin.
Yeah.
The year before, so 16 and 17, they were also 12-2.
Okay.
They have not lost to an in-section opponent since that year, 16-17. Central has not lost to an in-section opponent. Do you know who it was?
It was Bakersfield with Paul Gola.
Wrong.
What?
The first time. Did I say the last time?
You said the last time.
Okay, so let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Let me rephrase it. Okay, so let's say the first loss. Their second loss was that Bakersfield game. You are right.
Gotcha.
Dang it.
That was a Valley game, I think.
That was the Valley game. Okay,
Right,
so what was the other one? You're gonna be surprised.
It wasn't any of the
It was
track
the first game
schools.
of the year, guys.
It was to Bullard.
It was to Bullard.
It was.
Do you remember the score?
It was like 35-7, right?
24-3.
24-3.
I remember seeing that because I heard that Central was going to be good again,
Yeah.
and I saw the Bullard put it on them. I think at Central, I'm like, what?
Right.
I think that was like a perfect storm of bad things happened in that first game.
But Tompkins is, I think, first varsity start.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
he's a
right.
sophomore.
Yeah. So anyway, so that is okay. You got me on the Bakersfield game in the playoffs, but then they lost to Bullard in that first game of the year that year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I remembered it. No, I researched it, but I remembered it too. So, what does Bullard have to do to beat Central? They're not going to be able to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like a legitimate
Like
pass.
drop back and throw
Like a
it
drop-
over the lineman's head.
No, I don't see that happening
Right.
much
Gotcha.
in this game, if at all.
Right.
Shalom Welch against Conley, to me, they're very similar in skill set. Conley, actually, they line him up as a slot receiver. Sometimes he can catch the ball there. But, let's say those two guys cancel each other out.
Yeah.
What does that leave? That leaves Central with some dudes.
With a lot of dudes.
With a lot of dudes. One thing that Bullard does have that could negate Central's offensive attack a little bit, their passing attack, is they do have 2 good corners.
Yeah.
All right. Drake really is good. He's talented. He's athletic. He can stop some things.
Right. He can.
He's not very tall.
No.
Notice that. I mean, Grant
But
Lake.
he can
out
play.
there.
He can play.
He can play. He
Yeah.
can play some ball. And I forget the other corner's name. Do you remember his name offhand?
No.
The other corner's a good player as well. But you're going against 2 D1 guys that are about 6'3", 6'2", right? 6'3"-ish. Who can catch the ball in space. Now they just showed a highlight again on the news today of, I don't know which one it was. I don't know if it was Xavier or a Hunter, but they just made it like a one-handed twirling catch in the end zone. Right, that's just kind of That's just kind of their MO.
Right. Yeah. It went
Right?
viral. Yeah.
It went viral.
It went viral.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing new for Central.
Yeah. So I think it's going to take a lot for Bullard
Mm-hmm.
to beat Central at Central. A lot.
I don't have any facts to back this up. This is kind of just from the top of my head, and it's kind of just spitballing here. But I think it's probably true because of the extreme of it.
Mm-hmm.
But last time we had a quarterback in Division I that was 5'6" or shorter, won a Valley Championship. I think it was in 2007, Bakersfield High, Pete Mitchell,
Okay.
a legend.
Yeah. Lil Pete Mitchell.
I'm not drawing any. I don't want to draw any conclusions from that, but
Yeah.
hey, it could happen. It could happen. Probably not.
How tall was Lil Pete Mitchell?
I think he was 5'6". He
5'6".
took down the Clovis West Golden Eagles in the 2007 Valley game.
Wow.
But I think this Bullard guy, what's the name?
Kai Tsunemoto.
I think he has a long way to go to
Okay.
probably get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But hey, props to
But hey,
him,
it
man.
happens.
But
Yeah.
I mean, props to him
Props
against
to him,
Clovis. He runs hard. He's quick. He ran him on a couple keepers, and he got some positive yards. And he ran the offense well, but against a talented Central defense as well. And we talked about how we think that Central's defense is even better than their back-to-back Valley Championship teams. They got their work cut out for them. And then on the other side of the ball, Jamison Silva is still pinpoint at quarterback.
Still just 1 interception on the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think even the backup got in a little bit last week.
Frampton.
Yeah. Frampton got in and I think threw a couple touchdowns as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
We'll
There's
see.
that game. So we're down to the final 4 guys. This is the top 4 seeds held. There were no upsets, right? In Division
No.
1 playoffs.
Technically West, but that wasn't really an upset.
Okay, 11 against the 6, but we're all over that one.
Yeah.
But the top 4 seeds have held. It's playing out like most thought. Valley Championship again runs through Central, but you never know. But we're hoping that the Buchanan comes through and they get another shot because they've been their albatross around their neck.
That's right.
For
That's
a few
right.
years. I don't even have. Do you have that information off the top of your head when the last time Buchanan beat Central?
It was 2015 or 16.
Okay.
It was Jay Cott's last year.
Okay.
Yeah, they were co-track champs, but that was last. I think it's 15. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 15. Okay. So there's that. Austin, you got some questions from our fans.
Yeah, we did.
You do? You got something?
We got a question, guys. Will you send us questions because we need stuff to talk about sometimes. And we
Really?
want to switch it up a little bit. So if you have any questions,
We're not hurting for content
maybe
necessarily.
we're not hurting for content, but if you have any Thanksgiving food questions next
Oh,
week,
okay.
we'll dive into those hard because I got some strong opinions. We might just do it in either way.
Robot questions?
Robot questions, whatever you want. Star Wars, we'll break it down. Disney
break
Plus,
that
what
down.
you should watch. I'm all over it. But
You're a big foodie or what? You got some Thanksgiving food thoughts or Thanksgiving?
I have Thanksgiving food thoughts that are just very specific. I'm not saying you're going to agree with them, but I just have some thoughts. Okay, but we do have a question from Billy Lee. Okay, on Twitter, Billy Lee.
At first, I thought it was Buddy Lee.
No.
You remember Buddy Lee, the Levi's jeans,
Right,
caricature?
little doll.
I think they. Yeah. Anyway, it's not Buddy Lee; it's Billy Lee.
So Billy Lee gives us a 1A, 1B, and 1C question. Okay, so we'll kind of go through these. We'll see what happens. Okay, he starts out saying, 1A, who has the best jersey combo in the track?
All right, you're all over that. You're big into this
I'm
stuff.
all over that.
Go.
Oh my god.
Go.
Okay, I'll keep this under 2 minutes, I hope. Okay, I'm going to rule out Clovis West. First, I have strong opinions on this. I don't like the silver on the sleeves. I don't like silver pants. Silver is not a school color. You're out. Though I do like the helmet switch they made this year, going to the traditional winged helmets. Okay,
Yep.
good.
I'm down with that.
Jersey, improvement. Okay, Clovis East, try to replicate the Penn State look a little bit, which I can respect, but I don't necessarily like it that much for Clovis East, all right? Go back to the big E on the helmet, and then we'll talk. We'll see you back on the list maybe later on.
I like the little green hue whenever they could sneak that in.
It's got to be done right, though.
Yeah, it's got to be done right.
And also their Penn State jerseys aren't exactly like Penn State. You need the numbers on the sleeve, all right? That will be an improvement for next year.
I've never seen you look at the camera as much as you're doing now. It's like you're telling them.
I have a grasp on this, all right, that needs to happen. Okay, next school, North is okay. The black on black is good, and they broke out the baby blues this year, which look really good. That should probably be the actual home set. I would think. I like the baby blue a lot. That's a solid B plus.
Okay.
Maybe one improvement. The CN on the black helmet is also black. Kind of hard to see. Yeah. Be a little bit louder on the helmet.
Okay.
Right. So I would say North is 4 right now. East is 5. Clovis West is 6 jersey wise. Then we get to the top 3. Right. You can't go wrong with any of these jerseys. I do like. Okay, I'm gonna be really nitpicky here again. Traditionally, I would say Clovis High has the best uniform combo in the TRAC. But this year, and I can't remember if they did it last year too, their home jerseys. First of all, don't wear blue on blue. You gotta go blue and gold.
Yes, I'm with that.
That's one thing. Number 2, don't even get me started on blue and white. It's gotta be blue and gold.
Okay.
Their numbers are outlined in black, and I cannot look away from that. It can't be outlined in black. It has to be outlined in white, okay? Just like the late 90s, early 2000s Cougars. Golden numbers outlined in white. They would be number 1, but that little attention to detail just drops them down a little bit. But they're still right there at the top. Also, go back to the Cougar on the helmet instead of the C. That'll get you back to number 1. Okay. So now we're down to Central and Buchanan, in my opinion. Okay. Two very strong uniform combos. And I don't want to sound like a homer here.
I'm actually right now, I'm surprised you got Central over Clovis's. Maybe because you don't like the one combo that they've used before. Because I don't know.
If Clovis went blue and gold and white on gold every single game,
I love the gold.
You can't. That's the number 1. Okay. That's number 1.
That's the classic.
But I also like the late 90s Cougar on the helmet instead of the C. I didn't like when they made that switch. Okay. They got to go back. That's what I grew up with. Okay. The Central black on black at home with the black helmet is very strong look. That looks sweet. Okay. That's rivaled with the red on red with the white helmet for Buchanan. What are you gonna pick? You're going Clovis High?
Yeah, I'm Clovis.
Because traditional. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the Buchanan because of the American flag bear sticker they have incorporated in. Red jersey, red pants, white helmet, short look, with potential for Clovis to jump up to number 1 when they switch the black outline.
So, am I wrong in thinking that Buchanan? When did they wear mostly white? Have I seen white and white?
Yeah, so on the road they go white, white, white.
To me, yeah, I like that actually better than the red.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard color scheme to mess up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
maybe because I'm studying the Revolutionary War right now and teaching kids, about the red coats standing out in war. Maybe that's why the Buchanan red on red is a little foreign.
Go look up the 1999 Clovis High football uniforms when they had Chris Patrick, throw in Delaney McCormick, and McIntyre as a safety. All these guys, those are the best uniforms in the section history. Those blue and gold with the Cougar on it.
Well, we're gonna have to text Coach Patrick, and he's probably got his jersey somewhere.
He probably does. He might have to wear it on the show next week.
Okay.
All right. So, Coach Patrick, keep your ears out for us.
Okay.
We might need this jersey next week.
All right. Or let's take a picture of it.
Or take a picture of it. Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Okay. I think we got the jersey stuff covered.
Austin, that was way over 2 minutes. You only got like 12 seconds for the last
Okay.
two questions.
No, this one goes to you. Why are less students attending games?
Oh gosh. Where's your phone, Austin? Hold that up. Yeah, that plays a part in it. The phones. But why are there students attending games? I'm assuming he's just meaning track, because I feel
Right.
like it's down as well. I feel like other schools is still very, very strong.
Right.
Right? You watch the news at night, you see Carruthers, you see Sanger,
But I will.
you see
In
the Visalia
defense,
schools.
those schools, they're gonna look way more packed because what is it? It's
Yeah,
one
true.
row of bleachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna look more packed, and it does make it feel nicer.
I think when you went to Buchanan, did they have an activities coordinator? Do you remember? So
Yeah.
they had all that, right?
So
that's
our
huge.
games were like filled up all the time.
And-
Road games, whatever.
So the excitement, the build up, the posters, the free giveaways. Now you want to give a kid a shirt, you give them some incentive.
We used to have
do all
teachers
those
at
things
Buchanan tell students, like a lot of teachers, you go to the game, stay for the whole thing, take a picture of yourself and the scoreboard, like a selfie, you get extra credit. It's like, that's easy.
There you go.
Like people will
It's
go,
easy.
yeah, it's easy. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So
I think
that's
this is
the
what-
short answer
short
on
answer. And then it says you're a head coach outside of the teams currently in the playoffs. Which team would you not want to play and why?
that. Outside of the teams, not currently.
So we can't pick the last four.
Outside. Who wrote this?
Billy.
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 Come on, Billy. You are. At least you used the correct version of your. That's a You are a head coach outside the teams currently in the playoffs.
Which team would you not want to play? So I'm guessing the 5 through 13 seed.
Okay, so who lost? Right? Who is the best team who lost?
It's either West.
It's not Bakersfield. Who is the 7? Bakersfield is the 7. Who is the 6?
Bakersfield might beat West.
Who's the 6? What's wrong with me?
North. It's not North.
Okay, North beat or West beat North.
It's either West, Bakersfield, or probably Ridgeview.
Okay, out of those 3 teams, who would win? You did a little round robin deal with those 3. I'm gonna say West.
The way they're,
Am I homering? But
I want to say like the way they were playing at the end of the year, I'd pick West, but then they just got hammered by Liberty. But still,
North beat Ridgeview. West beat North twice.
right. Bakersfield beat Ridgeview.
There you go. Clovis West, an 11 seed.
Clovis West. That's who we do not want to play in the West.
All right, they're out of it.
There's
We got our final 4.
There we go.
Okay, is Billy done? He's 1A, 1B,
he's done.
1C.
Write in again next week though.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna encourage that when we do our Central versus Buchanan.
Yes. For
That's it.
sure.
All right,
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
I think we're done with questions.
Okay, so we definitely we forgot to thank our sponsors. Fieldhouse does an excellent job with promoting high school sports. They have a full bar, full menu, big old TVs. So go check them out on Copper Avenue. We want to thank Dan Barrows Physical Therapy for sponsoring the Clovis Sports Report. Yeah, we are nearing the end of football here, Austin. So I don't know. You're not a basketball guy,
But-
a little bit of a wrestling guy. So we're gonna have to figure something out for this winter.
Right.
to keep you happy.
I can do basketball. I'll approach it with an opinion that is not informed on the sport, but I can go to an arena. I can keep you updated, and I can form opinions on what I see from an untrained eye.
On who scores the most
Who
points.
scores the most points? Who looks the best? Maybe
Uniforms?
If you look,
We definitely could do
I go
uniforms.
uniforms. If you dunk a basketball in high school and I'm in the arena, you are a dude no matter what, and I will just hype you up because if I can just go to a high school basketball game and just see a dunk, I'm all in on that player.
Okay, so what would be more impressive for you? Just a regular standard two-handed dunk, or a dude that goes 5 for 5 from 3-point land in the first half?
So
You're gonna say dunk, I know it.
if I can just see if I'm at a game, I don't know. Something about if there's a guy that could have 2 points and be 1 for 8 from the field, but if he gets a ball on a breakaway and just throws it down,
Okay.
I'll stand up and I'll be like,
All right.
I'll be
You
all
can
in
do
on
that.
that. Yeah.
What if they're losing by 20? You're still stand up and cheer like that?
No,
Okay,
that's
good.
gotta be a close game.
Okay,
It's
good.
gotta be a close game.
It's gotta be,
Yeah.
okay. It's gotta be a high intense game, gotta
Yeah.
be a big crowd.
Yeah,
Really good
for
fun.
sure.
Okay, good. All right, good to know.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, thank you guys for watching these videos. We've got great feedback. We kind of get random people that are actually approaching us after games and say thank you for doing your videos, and we're like, oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Also, if you ever see us in person, if you have an idea for us or want us to talk about something or just how we could make everything kind of just better, then just go ahead and let us know.
Yeah.
And we're friendly.
We're friendly.
Yeah.
We're not defensive.
Right.
We're not professionals.
Yeah.
What else are we not?
We're not
Short on words.
Right.
We're not short on words.
Exactly.
We could talk about this all day.
Mm-hmm. I could give you a 1 hour uniform discussion for basketball, football, baseball, and maybe in the off season, the dog days of December. I will do that for you. Let me know.
He will. Don't test him. He will. All right. So, again, thank you guys for watching. We will definitely be seeing you guys on the sidelines, up in the stands, wherever. But be sure to follow us on Twitter at Paul Meadors, at @A_Kemp for this guy here, at Clovis Sports Report. Check us out on Twitter. We're both going to be at the Buchanan game. We're going to do a little double team on that action. Keep a keen eye on everything. We'll be able to film definitely lots of stuff and post some highlights on that. So we will definitely be covering that game, covering every inch, every nook and cranny. Not just nooks, not just crannies, but both. I don't know what that means.
Gotta go both.
Got to go both. So we may even try to hit a practice before then. So anyway, we're excited about this game. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be cold. So anyway, signing off for now. See you later.